What's up everyone, welcome to ESTNN, and today we are going to be running down all of Yoru's abilities and how you can use this deceptive agent to the max. If you don't know, Yoru is Valorant's latest duelist, and he is designed to deceive the enemy and catch them off guard. He came along with the recent Battle Pass, Valorant Episode 2 Act 1, that went live on January 12th and introduced Yoru into the game, along with, like I said, the new Battle Pass and a handful of balance changes. We're primarily going to focus on Yoru, all of his abilities, in addition to including some gameplay at the end. So without further ado, let's get into it, but make sure to drop us a like and a subscribe if you like this video, and hit that bell icon if you want to stay up to date on all of our latest videos. Yoru's focus is to distract the enemy with his teleportation abilities. Ghost footsteps and a brief period of invisibility all make Misdirection the name of the game for Yoru, and even as Riot stated, he is ideal for stealthy infiltration. The first ability that we're gonna talk about is Fake Out. Now, we've all had to deal with that one player who constantly fat walks while the team is trying to pull off a sneaky flank. Yoru makes use of the heavy footsteps and can choose a direction to send a pair of ghost steps forward, making lots of noise. This ability is used to throw off enemies and even fake a push or flank while your team executes a play. It is also really good at getting an enemy to look in the opposite direction or just fake them out in general. Valorant is a game of split-second decisions, and one bullet can mean the difference between life and death. It's impossible so far to tell the difference between fake out steps and normal footsteps unless you see the shadowy feet walk by. Fake out has an alternate fire that works just like Killjoy's swarm grenades, only initiating once Yoru activates it. And this can be good if you start a push, set up the fake out, and then completely rotate and then activate fake out while your team initiates a push on an opposite objective. The feet walk a significant distance and will go through teleporters, but when the feet hit a wall, they travel along the edge of the wall for a short distance before disappearing. Now, pairing this up with his next ability, Blindside, can lead to some great results, but the joy of having another flash ability in Valorant is less than exciting. It requires some skill to be used, but Blindside can't be thrown directly at an enemy or lobbed over walls. It must hit an object or solid surface before the flash will activate. You can get a couple of bounces with the skill before the flash goes off, which comes in handy for corners or if somebody's trying to predict the trajectory of this flash and tries to avoid it. Especially on bind in some of the tight rooms and in hookah, you can do a great job at faking out the enemy from where they think the flash is going to be. Combine that with the fake out steps and they're blind, they have no idea what's going on, so they're going to be shooting randomly, hoping that they get someone, all while telegraphing their own position. There's not much we really have to say about this. It's another flash ability and one that actually fits within his toolset really well. I like the idea of a more skill-based flash, which is what Blindside is compared to Phoenix's curveball or Brimstone's flash. Back off. Next up, we've got Gatecrash, and utilizing dimensional rifts is what makes Yoru so powerful. And with this ability, he can place a rift tether that acts as a teleport beacon. Now, the tether can be pushed forward, moving about the same distance as Fake Out, and it can be activated to then teleport to it, or you can just place that tether in a safe location for later use. Be warned that the tether does have a cooldown timer, so don't expect to just place this and be able to use it throughout the entirety of the map. I've even watched somebody place this beacon during the setup phase only for it to fade out and run through the timer before the match even began. Now, when the tether is pushed forward, it'll go just as far as the footsteps of Fake Out, like I said, but remember that this tether is visible to enemies and can be used to fake them out or make them look away and catch a sneaky flank. There's a lot of potential with this ability. But of course, don't get too cocky, kid. This ability can take a lot of trial and error, figuring out the angles of where you push it forward and where it will end up versus, being able to actually catch somebody off guard and not just teleporting into 3 people waiting to blast you in the face.
They're coming. Heavy. Are they anything to go? Not a good TV, not a good.
Lastly, we are going to talk about Yoru's ultimate dimensional drift. Alright, so Yoru has the ability to traverse into his own dimension by wearing an Oni half mask and becoming invisible, moving with an accelerated speed. Oh, and yeah, he's invincible during it. Now, when the ability is activated, Yoru rips through reality and pulls his mask on, and a near sight is applied to his vision. Yoru has audio cues, just like Reyna. You can see a blue dashed ring around him, and if any enemies enter that area or you get close to them, they receive an audio cue, their spider senses start tingling, and if they're in the radius long enough, he becomes visible to them. Now remember, there's like a 2-second period, but in the beginning of the ultimate, when he rips open the dimensions and puts the mask on, and also at the end when he comes back to the physical plane and gets his gun out. You can be caught off guard like I have before, but it's alright if you are prepared. Dimensional drift can be used passively to reposition out of a sticky situation or aggressively to scout out an objective and secure a flank. Yoru is subject to have any and all of his abilities changed in the upcoming months as Riot prepares him for competitive play. And while at first glance, many people thought this ultimate was overpowered, it actually has a lot of pros and cons, and you have to be careful and be prepared and have communication with your team in order to get the most out of it. That is all of Yoru's abilities, but we do have some gameplay so you guys can take a look at Yoru in action. My name is Malik. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to go follow us on Twitter at ESTNN and also at Esports Valorant for all the latest Esports Valorant news. And make sure to drop us a like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.
One enemy remaining.
Many right here.
Wait, okay.
One enemy remaining.
One more long.
Side.
Last player
Yeah,
standing.
backside.
Just look after the ground.
Killed them. Lights out.
Nowhere to run!
I got you. I'm gonna be first for you.
Watching heaven.
I have a blind.
One enemy remaining.
Ninja?
I'm gonna watch flank.
Get it, baby.
He has a cross. Ninja got the ace. I'll flash him. It's actually an ace.
That's crazy.